is not headline news. Experts say drinking soda can cause baldness. In other words, Dr. Pepper can turn you into Dr. Phil. A study shows quitting exercise can cause depression, especially in your couch cushions. The EPA says Florida has the most lead pipes in the entire U.S. And suddenly, so many things make sense. And today is National Student Athlete Day. So if you pass one in the halls, offer to take his or her trigonometry test. This is not headline news.
What day is it? It's April the 6th.
Please bring out the Twinkie.
What Twinkies? Twinkie. April the 6th is National Twinkie Day.
Hey, a Twinkie!
And what's in it?
Catch the Twinkie.
April 6th is National Twinkie Day.
Maybe I should eat the Twinkie.
What about the Twinkie? Twinkies are wonderful.
Would you like your Twinkie now?
Happy National Twinkie Day.
Hi, y'all. It's showtime.
Feel your mind's elation. And little girls from Sweden dream of silver screen quotation. And if you want these kind of dreams, it's Californication.
Is enough. I have had it with these monkey fighting snakes on this Monday to Friday plane.
You know, I'm a big fan of Samuel L. Jackson. I've never seen snakes on a plane. Have you?
Yes, it's awful. It's horrifying. Just being stuck on a plane with snakes is my worst fear. Realized.
But what about the movie though? Have you seen that movie?
It's cheesy, but it's terrifying if you're afraid of snakes.
Well, a South African plane had to make an emergency landing after a deadly cobra was found in the cockpit.
Oh my gosh.
And that's not a. There's no overtones. There's no innuendos about the captain. But at points during the ordeal, the pilots could feel the snake slither.
Oh my God!
Can feel the snake slither down his body. And they had to make an emergency landing.
Thank heavens he didn't crash the plane.
Anyone that's ever had. Because chances are you've had this happen to you where you've been driving down the road and all of a sudden there's a spider crawling in your car near you.
Yes.
Or there's a wasp that's in the vehicle with you. That's one thing. Now, on steroids, it's the same thing, but on steroids with a cobra, a poisonous snake in the cockpit.
Oh, that's horrifying.
Of the airplane, and they didn't crash. Because that's what I put it on. That's what I put it on autopilot, and I
scream and run.
And I leave the cockpits. Jeez. Good morning, Dan Reeves, Gina Langley. Good morning, Gina.
Hey, Danny.
We're about to have a conversation with Brandon Shields from the Jackson Post, and by the way, the Jackson Post, their online edition is free. It's a weekly paper that's I guess they've been up and running for 2 or 3 months or so. We'll ask Brandon when he calls in.
I wonder if it's hot in here, Danny. It's hot in the studio.
Yep, I picked up on that. It is hot.
It's hot, and not in a fun way.
Yep, it's feels like Florida in here.
It does. It's balmy.
Yeah, they're on the way to check it out because and I want to ask when I get here. Was it you or Julie Holt told me that she had like her mother and 2 friends, their air went out day before yesterday. I don't know if this has anything to do with a Chinese balloon.
Probably.
I think it's probably, I mean, it's just a theory based off of nothing whatsoever. It's not an educated guess, but maybe it's all the pollen getting into the units outside.
It's terrible out there right now. The rain will help knock it down, but bad allergy weather.
Yeah, it is. Good morning, folks, and welcome to the program. My name's Dan Reeves again with Gene Langley. You can join us as we broadcast from the Gene Langley Ford studio in Jackson. Yeah, Gene Langley Ford, they've added concierge service. And Ricky and
Rebecca Jones
and Richard were here yesterday talking about
Langley.
it. They will come in. This is a 15-mile radius to where if you have your vehicle serviced by Gene Langley Ford, which has a reputation as the best of the best with their service department, 15-mile radius of the dealership, they will come and get that vehicle from your office or from your home take it to Gene Langley Ford Service Department, service that vehicle, and deliver it back to you. Concierge service. Now, that is a thing of beauty. That's why the locally owned businesses, they just do it better. They put more into it, and you get to, well, Gene Langley may be the one driving up to get your vehicle, for crying out loud. So that's Gene Langley Ford. That's what has made them so strong. How long have they been? When did Gene start that?
It's been over 40 years. Pretty close to 45, 46 years. I'd have to text John.
And I haven't talked with Gene, but I assume he's planning on doing this for a career.
I don't know.
At some point, he's got to make a decision.
I
but
think so.
40 years.
Over 40 years.
In your own hometown, and you just can't do that unless you are just absolutely the best. You can join us here on the phone lines presented by CWA Developments, commercial and residential renovation and restoration. They specialize in that. Our phone number to get in, 731-265-6496. 731-265-6496. That's the phone number to join us here on the program. Whatever's on your mind, that's what we talk about. We check the pulse of West Tennessee here on News Talk 96.5 FM. We reach into 15 counties across West Tennessee. You can text the show on the Advanced Rehab and Medical text line. The text number is 731-800-TEXT, 731-800-8398 to get up in here on the text line. We'll read it right over the air. We're looking for the Budweiser King of Calls or King of Text here as on this Thursday morning. It's April the 6th, 2023. It is 48 degrees in Midtown or J-Town. Protesters have returned to the Tennessee Capitol after the Covenant School shooting. And this story being reported by News Channel 5. And we talked with the State Representative Chris Todd yesterday from Nashville. He stepped outside of the Capitol building to give us a phone call, and I asked him about the protesters. He's like, I haven't seen any.
Really?
So Frank Weber said that 30 years ago, when a classmate shot up his school, he was a sophomore at the time, it was kind of the same thing. They were asking for tighter gun restrictions in Tennessee, and here 30 years later, he's back doing the same thing. And this is a week and a half after the Covenant School shooting, which killed 3 9-year-olds and 3 adults on March the 27th. And at the state capitol, they're protesting,
right now.
And they've been doing that for several days while the House and the Senate have been in session. Now during the House session today, 3 House Democrats are expected to be expelled from the legislature. We talked with Chris Todd about that yesterday. And hundreds have trickled into the Capitol, while some have stood on the cold, slick steps, and we're looking at it this morning in Nashville. Now, Frank Weber, who was featured in the story, says, quotes, "I'm a little weary. The level of
apathy. Somebody's knocking at the door.
Yeah, it is. What's going on out there?
What's going on out there?
So back to Frank's quote again. I'm a little weary. The level of apathy and people not caring that guns are more important than kids, and the anger and sadness I feel is immeasurable. This isn't the way the world should be." Frank, let me stop just a moment. The world's not like that. We're kind of unique. Back to quoting Frank. Why should I tell an elementary school kid how to avoid being shot? This is 2023. It shouldn't be like that, close quote. Now, his daughter, Andy, stood by his side there as the rain fell this morning in Nashville. She said that the last 11 days at school have been scary because school shootings were becoming a common occurrence. Now, let's think about this for just a moment, Gina.
Are we apathetic as a society? Like this happens so often, we're just completely numb to it now, Dan?
I think there's a lot of truth to that.
I really do. I really do.
What about you personally? Is it? Do you feel like it's not hitting home the way it should?
I feel like
I shouldn't say that. It does. Do you feel like it doesn't hurt like it should? It doesn't surprise you. It doesn't shock you anymore.
It's shocking initially. And as the story starts fading behind other headlines, it just happens again and again. And, a year ago, I definitely had the attitude of, I don't think everyone in the country needs an automatic weapon, and I think there should be stricter gun laws. And now I'm to the point where I don't think the politicians are going to do anything. Please arm all of the schools in Tennessee and protect my children and grandchildren.
There's been more. I've noticed that some of the politicians have been more upset in Nashville about the peaceful protesters than the school shooting.
Exactly.
It seems like.
What is that? And they've been peaceful.
Yeah, it's by all accounts. We had someone there yesterday that was feeding us information about the peaceful protest, and it's I don't know. It's troubling to me that we just. Let's think about this logically, and let's take I know that the way things are today in America, you feel like you've got to go along with your party no matter what they do. That's not healthy. So apply some logic to it and think about what we're being told that, we just can't do background checks to make sure that someone is not suffering from mental illness before we hand them over a hand cannon.
And the excuse
just can't do it because
it's
a
a
well-armed
slippery
militia. So that doesn't hold water. It's ridiculous for us to accept that and say, well, I guess you're right. Some more kids are going to have to die.
I don't understand it either. You can't drive a car if you take certain seizure medications, for instance. If you are maybe elderly and can't drive a car, there are restrictions. And why is it a slippery slope with gun permits or allowing? And then in Tennessee, you don't even need a permit to carry. You don't need the safety course anymore.
Right.
I mean, this is just going to happen more and more, and it's ridiculous to think otherwise. So let's put armed guards out front of all the schools and protect our children, because as a society, we are not protecting our most vulnerable. This is unacceptable.
If certainly the kids, they have no defense whatsoever, but and look at the amount of adults. We'll pull up the numbers and run them down for you just for this year on Americans that have died in mass shootings and gun deaths overall. It's staggering.
And it's uniquely
sobering.
American. This doesn't happen anywhere else.
Right, the number of mass shootings, it just doesn't. And for some reason, I think people hear that and they go, I don't believe that, based off of emotions.
Right.
They don't. It's because you don't want to believe it. Now, I understand. This is difficult to wrap your arms around, and I've been doing this for 23 years with the advantage of having a news department, and I know most people, they don't have time to but if you have time to sit and look at the idiot box and let someone with a hairdo that works for the corporations tell you what to think, and that's the problem, because their model is not journalism. Their model is to make you angry. They've even revealed all this. We know it all. But we go along with it. In the Supreme Court has done things like Citizens United to allow corporations to dump unlimited amounts of money behind the political candidate of their choice. Do they expect anything from that candidate if they get them elected? You be the judge of that.
Of course they do.
Then the other part of that is they've taken the supreme morons who've taken political corruption out of the dictionary. And this is supposed to be a democracy, a representative republic, in which, 70% of Americans, here's a good example, 70% of Americans would like reform with the healthcare system in America. You think about this. They sell this as capitalism, free markets, but you can't shop for healthcare insurance outside the borders of the state of Tennessee.
Right.
Think about that for a moment. And we accept it as we the people. We accept it because they know we wouldn't if we were not distracted with hating other Americans, depending on if they got a D beside their name or an R beside their name. Just think about that for a moment. Why are we putting up with this? had the American people accepted this type of behavior from the brain trust, the people that run the country, we'd have never had a middle class. We'd have never grown into the world's only superpower for all those years. And think about how quickly this has happened. Now, I'm not trying to load you down this morning with homework, but listen up, class. Hey, kids, it's going into World War II, we were not a superpower.
Right.
And we were isolationists. We did not want to get involved. We said, that's Europe's war.
They woke the sleeping giant with
Let
Pearl
England,
Harbor.
let Germany, let France, let them sort all this out. And some people say we knew that Pearl Harbor was coming, that it was allowed to happen to sway the American people into getting into World War II. Now, I don't know. I haven't been willing to go back and do a lot of research on that because it'd be hard to prove that one way or the other. Now, when we got into World War II, Roosevelt said, no one's going to profit off this war. You would see like Ford went from manufacturing T-birds to manufacturing tanks.
Right.
Everyone pitched in,
Rosie the
males,
regular. Yeah.
females, it didn't matter. They pitched in on the war efforts. And how do we pay for it? They sold war bonds.
Right.
Instead of putting it on a credit card.
Now we're what, 30 trillion in the hole now?
Now let's think about that and think about coming out of World War II. We went into it, we were not a superpower. We were isolationist. Coming out of World War II, Europe was flattened because of the war. I mean, it was flattened, and Soviet Union had taken a lot of damage because of the Nazi invasion.
Right.
Then Japan was flattened.
Mm-hmm.
China was a third world country.
Right.
We were it, period.
Baby boomers.
We reset the world in the new world order.
Right.
It was all us. And there are people listening that were alive during that time. It hadn't been that long ago.
No.
So how did we get from that to this?
Some poor
Are the
choices.
people that are running our country similar to the people that run Gannett? Are they that stupid? Or was this intentional? Some people say that when they blew Kennedy's head off, it was a coup to take over the government. Then who would actually think that it's a good idea to take away the thing that was protecting the American people from propaganda that was the Fairness Doctrine? What could possibly have been another outcome other than a nation that was misinformed?
Right.
And the people that don't know we know we're getting screwed, just don't know who's doing it. There could not have been a different outcome than what we're seeing today.
So you think it was intentional all the way back to when Ronald Reagan changed?
Was the Reagan administration that killed the Fairness Doctrine?
Right.
Yeah. How could people that are intelligent sit around a conference table and say, I know it'd be great for us if we removed the Fairness Doctrine and allowed propaganda to run wild. Now that we've got it narrowed down to 5 people owning the national media outlets, think about, could there possibly been a different outcome?
No, there can't. It's state-sponsored television or media.
So we outnumber them, folks. 300 some odd million Americans, and there's strength in numbers. And if we realize our power, like yesterday, I kept hearing too much government. Actually, we are supposed to be the government. We the
Right.
people. The corporations are running it now, so it's not too much government. It's too little from the people. And that's why I say that we are suffering from a trauma bond with our corporate daddies that run the government. Now, the good news is it's not too late. We can take back our power and do things that are actually in the best interest of the American people because, being able to shop for health care insurance
That would be nice.
outside of the state of Tennessee would be awfully nice. Or you can continue to let Blue Cross Blue Shield work you over, kick you in the ribs and say, oh, wait a minute, that may have been what are they
Pre-existing
condition?
They have
yeah.
a monopoly in the great state of Tennessee. They insure over 60% of Tennesseans.
And it's like that in other states as
I'm
well.
sure.
Yeah, it's you can't shop for insurance outside of your state borders. Think about that. What if you couldn't shop for?
Why?
for
I mean,
what if you couldn't shop for a car outside the state of Tennessee?
Well, these are the questions we need to ask. And if you have a society that's not informed, and then they divide and conquer, that's how they're going to stay in power. And that's the end game. It's not what's good for the American people. It's not what's good for the country. It's what is good for the people in power and how they're going to stay there.
Exactly. And this is, I think both national parties are in it together.
I do too.
We got several texts we're going to get to on the Advanced Rehab and Medical text line. Dan Rees and Gino Langley with you here. The AdvancedRehabJackson.com at the text line. This one comes in. It says, Dear Dan, the reason that Tennessee doesn't have legal marijuana is because of Republicans. Please say it. It's the Republicans. Marijuana cannot kill you by overdose, and tobacco kills 450,000 per year. That's the number one cause of preventable death. Marijuana being illegal in 2023 is total stupidity. That came in on the Advanced Rehab and Medical text line. This text reads, Dear Dan, unfortunately, these kids are in the wrong country. Oh. This is only Tennessee, or this only happens in the USA. I know exactly who's doing it. The R's. Now, this is... You've heard of partisan politics. These are partisan texts. From the Advanced Rehab and Medical text line, Dear Dan, get some guts and join me in saying we need to repeal the Second Amendment. From the text line, 130 mass shootings in the first 140 days of this year.
Oh, my gosh.
Well, the text line's on fire this morning.
They are.
From the Advanced Rehab and Medical text line, if we don't repeal the second, nothing will get better. Mental illness is not the problem. Other countries have mental illness, but not gun availability. It's time for you Second Amendment cowards to say, let's repeal the second.
I don't think that's going to happen.
That's not going to happen.
It's not going to happen.
From the Advanced Rehab and Medical text line, driving cars, you get a license. You must wear seatbelts.
Right.
DWI, car safety, and insurance. I need my own show. Thanks for the text. From the Advanced Rehab and Medical text line, this one reads, Dear Dan, the NRA allows terrorists to buy guns. If y'all are great Americans, then I don't want to be one. White Christian nationalists are hurting this country. Jeez.
Ouch.
These texts are pretty aggressive this morning. From the Advanced Rehab and Medical text line, you can text the program at 731-800-TEXT, 731-800-8398. We have two parties. They both stink.
Yeah.
But one can't knock a buzzard off a blank wagon. Not to know which one is not to know much about this.
What?
Okay.
Okay. I didn't get that one.
Yeah, I didn't either. Not enough information. You left us hanging there. Wait, JT's birthday is what? It is this month, right?
It's the 24th. Yeah, he's going to be 18.
Carlita Watson's birthday is April the 13th.
Yeah.
And her daughter, Alina is, I think, the 26th. So a lot of birthdays.
Spring babies.
And yeah, it's so 9 months. Okay, let's backtrack 9 months. What was that? In August? What was it? The 9 month pregnancy? I guess probably, yeah. It's the dog days of summer evidently leads to some action.
Evidently.
Yeah. My birthday's in April. My name is Dan. My sister's birthday
When is your birthday?
My sister's birthday's in February. her name's April.
When's your
so
birthday?
I think Mom, she wanted a girl, and she didn't care what month. It's this month. I never talk about it.
You don't
because-
talk about your birthday?
No. It's
I start telling people my birthday's coming 30 days out.
I know I heard you, Gina said, hey, it's my birthday year,
In
y'all.
3 weeks.
It's my birthday
and
year.
then I have a birthday month that we celebrate. And I have other
That's right.
girlfriends who have birthdays in July. We celebrate. Shout out to Mel and Mary. Good times in July.
Yeah, and seeing a good times. BioTE, folks. BioTE. Bioidentical testosterone and estrogen. We're talking hormone optimization, the balance of nature and science coming together and producing extraordinary benefits. Now, I've been saying that, hey, guys, the T stands for testosterone. Ladies, the E stands for estrogen. So we're talking to you as well. Gina went and got some BioTE. Now, these are tiny pellets placed just under the skin. Takes about 10 minutes. The procedure, they did right butt cheek for me. And they just deaden that area. You don't feel a thing, and you're out there. And these tiny pellets, we're talking about, they're non-synthetic. They almost mimic the
Right,
natural
they're
hormone. And it gets into your bloodstream, and it keeps it level. If you've had those testosterone shots, you get a boost.
Yeah.
And then you
Drops off.
peak and then valley, peak and then valley. And you may have to, depending on what the doctor prescribes for, you may have multiple of those shots per week. So we're talking about
That has got to be a roller coaster.
Yeah. Now, it's much different with BioTE, again, because of getting in your bloodstream, and it's delivered evenly to you. So think of it this way. Now, one treatment lasts me 6 months. Right now, my testosterone level, just a few weeks ago when I went in and had it checked, was 1,200, Gina. And I'm half 100. It's 1,200 with a testosterone level. That's where it was at when I was like 22.
So you have energy and stamina?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And magical in the bedroom. A lot of times it's a solo act, but still. Freddie and Susie are amazed. They said, geez, you must be on BioTE. Thank you. And, but it's the energy, the quality of life that's what it's all about.
Quality of life, yes.
Enjoying life. And you can't do that if you don't have any energy. And I've got friends that have done they work out. They say, look, I eat right. I do sit-ups. I mix in some jumping jacks. I look down and there's my old friend belly fat.
Yeah, and that's what happens when testosterone, and for women and men, starts dropping off.
Right.
You start getting that belly weight, and it's
hard to shake that,
hard
isn't it?
to get rid of it.
And so the cause of this could be lack of testosterone, as Gina was saying. And guys, we have estrogen,
Right.
and ladies have testosterone. It's that balance, isn't
It's
it?
the balance. And women who are in menopause, maybe you don't even realize how bad you feel, and then you go and get pelleted, is what they call it. And with BioTE, I did it Friday, and I feel like somewhere along yesterday, I started to feel I have energy. Like,
Geez, Gina,
I was
evident. It's
up at
obvious.
11:30 last night, which is just kind of shocking.
You're not a night owl.
No, I'm not.
See,
I'm not.
I am.
John is, yeah.
Yeah, and it's the amount of it. I sleep better. Have you experienced that yet with BioTE?
I'm just starting to experience that because, 2 weeks ago I was waking up, it seemed like every 30 minutes. And then, I'm menopausal, so having hot flashes and night sweats and then not getting sleep. So then you wake up tired, and all of this is just a vicious circle.
It is.
And I slept like a baby last night.
Isn't it nice to tell you?
So nice.
And you look great.
Thank you.
So, this is from Jen, talking about her experience with BioTE. Jen says, quote, within a month, I noticed my energy levels starting to improve. I wasn't as tired during the day. My kids were happy, and my husband was very happy to have his wife back. Close quote, that Jen sent that in to us. Thank you, Jen. And Gina will be sending hers in to us as well. Hormone levels naturally decline up to 10% yearly as we age. Decreased bone density, poor heart health, abnormal breast or prostate health, diminished cognitive and memory and reduced energy and sex drive, all these things that factor into quality of life. I'm not ready to let him go. Gina's not ready to let him go, and you're not either. And fortunately, there's help. If it can do it for me, and look at the start Gina's off to, then why couldn't it do it for you? Call Dr. Shannon Bone at Advanced Rehab and Medical and 45 Urgent Care. Call him today and ask if BioTE is right for thee. They say youth is wasted on the young. I say I want youth wasted on me. 731-503-8254. 731-503-8254. BioTE. 731-503-8254 for BioTE.
News Talk West Tennessee includes newstalk965.com and Newstalk 96.5 FM, covering local news, sports, and weather on an extensive network of platforms, including radio, social media streaming, digital TV, live stream, podcasts, all on your devices. Our local and live weekday lineup includes Daybreak with Greg Wood and G-Unit, Walker Talks with Chuck Walker and Julie Holt, The Dan Reeves Show with Gina Langley and Larry Newman, Dave Ramsey, Jackson-Madison County Schools Game of the Week, UT Vols Sports, and the Memphis Grizzlies. Local, live, News Talk West Tennessee and newstalk965.com. Hear it first on News Talk 96.5 FM. We might be talking about you.
Hey, this is Chuck Walker with Southeastern Termite and Pest Control. We recently celebrated our 20th year in business here in West Tennessee. That's 2 decades of growth for us. We've added to our work family, moved locations a few times, seen our coworkers have kids and grandkids. We've even seen our clients who were kids when we started at their parents' house now call us to take care of their homes. Lots of things change over 20 years, but here's what hasn't. We can still be reached 24 hours a day. We still provide quality, guaranteed termite and pest control service for all of West Tennessee. We still are the go-to company for real estate closing letters. We still provide quality fungus treatments and affordable moisture barriers. We still take care of your bed bugs, brown recluse, and every other pest problem you could have. If you own a home, you need termite protection. And the biggest thing we've learned in 20 years, we need you. Give us a call 24 hours a day for a different kind of experience from a service company. Southeastern, 660-1052. That's Southeastern, 660-1052.
Hi, I'm Terica Smith, a local attorney and proud JMCSS graduate, but I'm also a JMCSS parent. We chose Jackson-Madison County Schools for educational options that are innovative and challenging. Whether it's the Academic Academy at Northeast or early college and career opportunities at JCM Early College High, JMCSS offers classes and programs that will prepare my son for college and beyond. Plus, JMCSS is a Level 5 district and tuition free. It just makes sense.
Hi, I'm Greg Hammond, Chief of Public Information for the Jackson-Madison County School System. With an increased focus in the fine arts, athletics, workforce development, and early career opportunities for students, there's never been a better time to choose us. Tuition-free, Jackson-Madison County Schools. Visit jmcss.org today to schedule a tour or call 731-345-7011.
Watch Tennessee Championship Wrestling every Saturday morning at 11 a.m. on NewsTalkWestTennessee.com. See all the Memphis legends: Jerry the King Lawler, Dangerous Doug Gilbert, Superstar Bill Dundee, along with stars of today: the Mid-South Prodigy Bam Bam Bundy, MJ Davis, Mr. Marvelous Mike Mayo, Insane Dane, Big Gravy, The Rocket Josh Benson, Lucky P. Larson, and many, many more. You can also view TCW on the News Talk West Tennessee app for all your Apple and Android devices.
Catch Tennessee Championship Wrestling every Saturday at noon on NewsTalkWTN.com.
Let's face it, people want to feel loved, appreciated, and pampered. Beauty to the Bone has a mission and a purpose to help you look and feel beautiful inside and out. From facials to Botox, fillers, lasers, IV therapy, functional medicine, and all in between, we've got you covered. Book your appointment today to feel your very best tomorrow.
Book your appointment today. Call 731-300-9103. That's 731-300-9103.
Is your office or home office in need of a new printer, copier, fax, or multifunction machine? Do you need business cards, envelopes, or office supplies? Are you looking to upgrade to new office furniture? Office World Incorporated in Trenton has been serving all of the Gibson County and the West Tennessee area for over 65 years. Office World is a franchise partner of OfficeZilla. Call today, 731-855-9131 or email officeworldinc@gmail.com.
Welcome to Hampton Inn & Suites of Jackson. Make yourself at home in any of the 83 rooms or suites. Hampton Inn & Suites exit 83 at I-40 is minutes away from all Jackson destinations like the West Tennessee Healthcare Sportsplex, Casey Jones Village, Jackson Madison County General Hospital, and many industrial complexes. Enjoy free Wi-Fi, free parking, and free hot breakfast. Also a 24-hour fitness and business center. Welcome to West Tennessee. Make your reservations now by calling direct at 731-427-6100 or visit hampton.com.
Vintage doesn't always mean long-lasting. As your home systems age, your repair costs, utility bills, and breakdowns rise. During Hiller's Vintage Showdown, we're giving away a free new system to the owner of the oldest HVAC unit. Submit a picture of your old equipment online to see if you qualify as the winner. Everybody wins with trade-in credits plus 0% financing for up to 48 months with approved credit on select new HVAC systems. Enter to win now at happyhiller.com.
Call the Happy Face Truck today.
King Jewelers is not your typical jewelry store. It's an iconic symbol of love. Custom-made jewelry to suit the most discriminating taste. Or you can redesign an old piece that's just sitting in a jewelry box. Create something completely new and unique. Grover has over 40 years experience as a certified jeweler. Visit KingJewelerJackson.com. King Jewelers at 16B Conrad Drive, Jackson. Follow King Jewelers Jackson on social media for special savings.
Not too expensive, nothing too fancy, just an authentic Italian family recipe served up piping hot, just like a pizza pie should be. Locally owned and operated Carico's Pizza, home of the $8 lunch special. 2 slices and a drink for just $8. Buy the slice or the 28-inch monster. Perfect for the bowl game. Carico's Pizza, 1370 Union University Drive. For catering, call 731-240-1033. For the full menu, visit caricospizza.com.
Hi, my name's Dawn. I have been taking BioT at Advanced Medical. My moods are better. I sleep well. My husband has complimented me on the mood swings that are no longer affecting our marriage.
Are these problems affecting your work, your relationships, and your quality of life? You'll be happy to know there's an exciting, natural solution available called BioT. BioT uses a natural way for men and women to correct these problems by safely and accurately balancing hormone levels without the use of synthetic injections or cream.
I got blood work done, and they identified what hormones were out of balance. They gave me the bioidentical hormone pellets through BioT, and now I have more energy, no more brain fog, I'm sleeping better, and I feel like my old self again. I would recommend Advanced Rehab and Medical and their BioT program to anyone suffering with symptoms like mine. It's been life-changing.
To book your appointment, call 731-462-8580. That's 731-462-8580.
Wake up with Wood. Daybreak with Greg Wood. Weekday morning 6 till 10 on 96.5 FM and NewsTalkWTN.com.
Get all the latest news, talk, weather, and sports. NewsTalkWTN.com and 96.5 FM.
Noah's here today. He's with Internally Sound, the company we work with, like Black Tie Boxing and the debates. They're pretty darn good, aren't they, Gina?
They are wonderful.
Absolute best, I tell you. Good Thursday morning. It is April the 6th already.
It's going to be Christmas soon.
Time flies, doesn't it? Jeez, I tell you, it is Easter weekend. So happy Easter to you, folks. I'm going to go to Love and Truth this Sunday.
Are you?
My cousin Chris, Pastor Chris is there at Love and Truth. They got a big, and his sons are heavily involved. Joey, Caleb, and Aaron. I don't, when I say his sons, I think I should say Joey. His son Joey, he's one of the best of the best. He is such a talented musician and singer, songwriter. Yeah. Oh yeah, he's had offers all over in different parts of the country. He's in his early 20s, but he wanted to stay here and work with Love and Truth in that on their music side and all.
I have some friends that go there. I've heard wonderful things. We will go to Easter Sunday at First United Methodist in Humboldt, Tennessee. Historic building.
Where's that? Is that downtown?
It's downtown. It's on 12th Street. So very, gorgeous old organ and historic building, but a progressive congregation.
That was last year at the Strawberry Festival had it was their version of America's Got Talent, and they had reached out to me and asked if I would come over and MC the talent show.
Oh, wow.
And they did that like 2 months before the Strawberry Festival. And like a lot of things, it sounds good at the time, but as it approaches, I was like, geez, that's the same night of our election return coverage.
Oh, that's right around the corner.
And I said, I cannot back out on them now. And I went over there. We were set with election return coverage. We were set up here in the studio. We were set up at Madison County Election Commission.
Right.
Well, same thing this year, but I went and I emceed it, and I had a blast. There were so many talented young people. I don't know, maybe 50 people, 50 kiddos performed, and they were so talented. I had a blast, and it was held downtown at Gina said White Church, where it used to be a church. Maybe it still is, but it's
Magnolia Manor.
That sounds about right.
It's a bed and breakfast.
Is that what it is now?
Yeah, that's really nice in that downtown area in Humboldt.
That's gorgeous.
Yeah, it is.
It's almost like the architecture would fit in with Art Deco almost.
Yes.
South Beach, Miami.
Gorgeous.
Yeah, it's downtown Humboldt is really come a long way.
We've come a long way, baby.
I talk about the coffee shop down there all the time. Jeez.
Their chicken salad is to die for.
Yeah, but it's in local people.
That's right.
Just absolutely doing it better. And do you know this is a man? It's a couple that own that, right? A married couple?
Uh-huh.
Do you know those people?
I've met them. I can't call their name just right this second. They're from, I think, Nashville. And they moved here and bought that and turned it into a bed and breakfast. And it is just gorgeous. I took my granddaughters there over the holidays for a holiday high tea. And we had a wonderful Sunday afternoon.
What's up?
You don't know what a high tea is. It's basically a lunch served in like tiny little cucumber sandwiches. It's a 3-tiered tray is what they use for the service, and of course there's tea, and then each course is represented on the tray. And so I was afraid that the cucumber sandwiches were not going to be very popular with my young grandchildren, and I was wrong.
Explain the cucumber sandwich. Is it just as it's described, just cucumbers and bread?
Bread, and then there's usually, it depends. There's several different recipes. It's more than just cucumbers, though. A dressing that goes with it. And then they had scones, and they had little tarts, and we had very good table manners that day, Danny.
Did you say we?
All my granddaughters. It was,
granddaughters.
yeah, it was wonderful.
It's that's downtown Humboldt, and I guess well the Strawberry Festival is, what's the date on it? I know it's the first full week in May.
It's May the 7th. It's the first full week in May, and so I won't be here that Friday. Because I'm going to go to the parade.
Well,
Although I think we're going to broadcast live, though, aren't we?
We are. We're going to be there. We're going to do this. Well, we're going to do at least one show live from the Strawberry Festival right on the parade routes. We did that a couple of years ago and had a blast, and we'll be back again this year. And we're going to enter our company vehicle in the parade. That's growing up in Gibson County, the Strawberry Festival just is magical.
It is.
And it still is, which is great news because with technology, parades don't seem to be that big of a deal to some people, but the Strawberry Festival has continued to put a quality product out there every single year. A lot of work goes into that, geez.
Longest running festival in the state of Tennessee, West Tennessee Strawberry Festival.
So it's May the 7th. So that
that whole
Thursday
week.
would be the first full week in May would be the Junior Floats Parade, and of course the Grand Floats Parade on that Friday.
Yeah, and they have horse shows, and they have a barbecue contest, and they have fireworks.
They still do the live band, I guess.
They do, and they block
carnival?
off the carnival. They block off the downtown area in the evenings and have live music there
that's
downtown.
Right. I meant to say that, Gina, because that carnival is now downtown. At one time it was kind of over in like the Eden parking lot.
Right.
It's
right
added so
downtown.
much to it being downtown.
I took my grandchildren there last year and rode rides. It was like being a child again.
Yeah, that's something to look forward to, folks. The Strawberry Festival, we're going to be there locally and live with you from the Strawberry Festival, first full week in May.
We need to ask Sarah Beth if we can broadcast live from her front yard. She's
I don't
right
think we
there
ought to
on Main
ask her.
Street.
I think we ought to
Just tell her.
She'll notice we're there that morning and say, if she didn't like it, we're live on the radio, Sarah Beth.
Come get on the air, Sarah Beth.
Yeah. And right now, there's a couple of things I want to bring up to you. Legislators push a bill to arm teachers here in Tennessee as they're protesting in Nashville.
This is where we are with our society.
So students from coast to coast rose to the call for a walkout yesterday. So this wasn't just in Tennessee. But it was jump-started this time by the mass shooting in Tennessee, in Nashville a week and a half ago. So the story on this nationwide protest is that out of Memphis, where this story originates, the students put down their books and walked out. I mean, the description is in the name. It was a walkout, and they were holding signs and listening to student speakers outside their school in a call for an end to gun violence. Now, a friend of mine that was working down at, was it Marjorie
Taylor
Green School down in the Fort Lauderdale area with that massacre on Valentine's Day, 5-6 years ago. She actually was working in that school as a counselor before the shooting, and then, of course, after the shooting. And, I talked with her, and she said, I just can't come on and talk about it right now. We'll talk about it later. And I think I'm going to reach back out to her to get her take on this, because she was working with those students before the shooting and then afterwards to see what kind of impact it has. And that student body, several of those kids rose to national prominence,
right,
and others were attacked by politicians. So we're going to get deep into that tomorrow on this program. Walker Talks with Chuck Walker and Julie Holtz coming up next. And I'm not sure what's on the agenda today, but there was a great show yesterday in talking about kind of let's call it a disagreement between the county and the city governments here in Jackson.
I can't imagine.
And so I'm sure there'll be some follow-up from that this morning on Walker Talks. But we're just completely out of time here on this program. The time allotted for this program is simply expired. Gina, I enjoyed it as always.
Thank you. I enjoyed it as always.
Now, we got a launch party we're inviting everybody to on April the 26th right here at News Talk World headquarters. Live band. We're going to have food. Budweiser will be here with the Central Distributors with the Budweiser tent. We'll have all that here. And different restaurants from around town will be here. You'll be able to, there'll be food. We have a ribbon cutting. This is from 5 to 7 on April the 26th right here at News Talk World headquarters at 2152 North Highland Avenue. Everyone's invited. We'll have a lot of great door prizes as well.
Yeah.
Business after hours will be here. The red coats, all that is the party will continue deep into the night, or at least until the neighbors call in and complain. So we want to see you here. The station will be open if you want to tour it as well. Thank you, Gina. We're out of time. Here comes Walker Talks, and it's Tom Scuteri to start off from the Pentagon. Have a wonderful day.
This is WBFG 96.5 FM. Parker's Crossroads, Jackson.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. His indictment proving to be something of a boom to former President Trump, both in terms of fundraising and in his polling numbers. President Biden, on the other hand, is watching his numbers fade.